guessing just a little. Our scripture this morning comes from Job 38, and it is verses 1 to 11. Let's listen to the word of the Lord. Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind, "Who is this darkening counsel with words lacking knowledge? Prepare yourself like a man. I will interrogate you, and you will respond to me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me if you know. Who set its measurements? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring tape on it? On what were its footings sunk? Who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang in unison and all the divine beings shouted. Who enclosed the sea behind doors when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment, the dense clouds its wrap, when I imposed my limit for it, put bars and doors, and said, you may come this far, no farther. Here your proud waves stop. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Have you ever been so mad it hurts? So upset at someone that all you can do is shake in anger, shake in your hurt at the unjustness of the situation. Maybe you wanted to take a swing at someone or jump on top of somebody. Maybe you wanted to call the police or file a lawsuit. Maybe all you wanted to do in your power was to seek recompense, to try and seek some sort of recompense for what had been done to you. There are, my friends, many ways to seek justice for your perceived slights. But what if you could talk with God? What would you say to God? Talk to God in person about all your sufferings that you've had. What questions would you ask?
Today's sermon, as you can already see, is a little bit different. In the bulletin it says that I'm preaching. Well, this sermon is going to be both Henry and I. And it is going to be in the format of a suffering person laying it all out before God. Pastor Henry is going to represent the person suffering, asking the questions, and I will represent God. Now, I do not think I am God. I want to make that clear. And this idea came to us after our Bible study and reading Job. And we prayerfully consider doing this, and it is based on Scripture, which we all know has different interpretations, but our hope in this is that maybe some of your questions will be answered, but more than that, we hope this will get you thinking yourself, what do I believe about God and the world around me? When I read the scriptures, when I see what's happening, what do I believe for myself? Not what Pastor Anna tells me to believe or Pastor Henry. We hope that this will make you think, what do I believe? Thank you.
Hi, God.
Hi.
So I'm your faithful servant. I have obeyed your commandments. I've done what was right in your sight. And yet, I'm sitting here today, hurting. I'm hurting, God. Hurting so much. So I must ask you, speak truly to me, please. I've been good. Did you take my family away? Did you? All that I hold dear, did you cause my suffering? Did you do this to me?
First, I'm sorry you're hurt. When you hurt, I hurt. And I walk alongside you on every step of your journey. And your families too. I love you. The scriptures tell you that I know every hair on your head and that every day that you're going to see is written in my book. But beloved, that doesn't mean I'm over here picking and choosing who suffers and who doesn't. My promise has always been to be with you. To be with you. I accompany you through everything. And rest assured, when your heart breaks, my heart breaks. When you cry, I cry too. When you feel joy, I'm happy with you. I'm celebrating. People often think that I'm this master puppeteer in the sky, picking and choosing what happens to people. Truly, I know all the possibilities of what can happen. But I don't choose children to suffer. What kind of creator would I be if I actively decided who suffers and who doesn't? My promise is and has always been to be with you through it all.
Was it to teach me some lesson? Some class I never signed up for?
To be honest with you, this is a question that many people think, but don't often directly ask me. People always think I'm testing them. I think it's because of the story of Job in the scriptures. Unfortunately, bad things happen, period. They happen. Sometimes they're caused by our actions, and sometimes they can't be explained. Think about it for a moment. What's easier for you to digest? The idea that I'm testing you, or the idea that we don't know why bad things happen to good people? It's harder to sit with the uncertainty. Look at Job's story. The whole story is someone trying to come to terms with suffering in the world, to understand why it's happening. Job has friends who are telling him, you must have done something wrong. He's wondering why it's happening. Thinking it's a test or a trial gives a clear explanation. If you think I'm testing you, then you can say, oh, well, it's God's fault. But what if I told you suffering, even to the best of people in this world, is arbitrary? Yes, suffering happens. Yes, we can learn from suffering. But I'm not intentionally picking people to hurt and to suffer. Life doesn't always have answers, and we have to be okay with uncertainty.
What do you want from me? I was at my wit's end, am at my wit's end. I'm lost and broken, tattered and torn, and you get to be God, Lord Almighty? That's not very fair, is it?
What do I want from you? I want you. I want all of you. Some people think that they have to come to me in a meek and mild manner with the most eloquent words of prayer. But really, I want the real you. If you are angry, tell me about it. Yell, scream, cry, I can take it. If you're sad, trust me with your tears. If you're broken, come to me with the pieces of you that you don't, all the pieces that you have right now. Even if you feel like it's not all of you. I don't want perfection. I don't want anything fake. I want you. I want you. I want you to know that you are my beloved child. I want you to come to me because I love you. I love you because you are you, not because you are perfect, not because you're anyone else. You are you, and you are mine. Always. I want your presence with me. Yes, I am God. Yes, I created the world and all life in it. But I never promised that life would be fair. I can see the bigger picture when you can't. And to be honest, the word fair has a different definition for every person in the world. So no, life isn't fair and it's never going to be fair. But I do give you free will. Free will and the ability to choose how you're going to handle what life gives you. How will you embrace the good parts and the ugly parts? You get to answer that question. But I will say, I want to support you in every moment, in the fair and the unfair.
What do prayers look like to you? Do you hear me? Can you see me? I am sorry. I get so upset at the world around me, at the ways life always seems to push down on top of me. I try to stand so that bad seems to happen. Will it ever get better? Will it?
I hear you. I always hear you. When you pray, it's like my dearest friend calling out to me. Of course I hear you. Do you hear me when I respond to you? I know the world is heavy, it's messy, and it's loud. And I hear you all describe it often as a mess. But do you hear me? Sometimes my answer comes as a still, small voice. Sometimes it's in the cards or words of a friend. Sometimes it's in the pages of a book that are exactly what you needed that day. While the world likes to scream and yell and rant, my voice is quiet and calm and gentle. I do speak, but I'm afraid most people don't hear me. But I invite you to keep praying, keep talking to me. But remember to take time to breathe, to be quiet, and to listen. Listen for me answering you. I'm here. I'm always here. Life will not always be good, but you don't have to face it alone. I love you.
But it's not always, you make it sound so easy, it's not always that easy. Sometimes I have doubts and I get frustrated. Where were you when I needed you the most?
I'm here. I've always been here. Look around. No, look around. Look at all the people around you. Later today, go outside. Look at the land, the trees, the water, the animals. Look at the sun rising in the morning and the sun setting in the evening. Feel the heat of the bright sun on your skin and stare in awe of the glory of the full moon. I am and will always be. Before creation was formed, my spirit hovered over the waters of the deep. My spirit was there then, and it is in you. Look around. Take a step back to breathe. If you look, you'll find me.
If you're always there, why can't I feel you? What am I to you?
I like to compare my presence to breathing. You need breath to live, right? But every second of every day, you aren't always aware that you're breathing, are you? You just do it without thinking about it. I'm like the breath in your lungs. I'm always around you, but you don't necessarily start to think about me until you're gasping for air. Then you think, what's wrong with my lungs? Why can't I breathe? In the same way, you don't often think of my presence until life gets hard. And then you say, where are you, God? When I've been here the whole time. But more than that, my presence isn't based on your emotions. They're going to change. I don't hide away when you're angry or hurt and then randomly appear when life is good again. That's not how I work. I'm constant. I'm present in it all. It's easier to think that I've abandoned you when life is hard and not realize my presence in the good times. But that's not how it works. I'm here to stay. So can I ask you a question now?
Yes.
Will you trust me when I tell you that I want what's good for you? I'm God and you are not. Trust me. Having all the answers isn't going to make everything better. Will you trust me?
Yes.
Will you trust me? I want good for you. I love you. You are my child. Will you have faith? Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Look around. I'm here. Let me in.